Can you hear that? Stupid little squawking ankle biters. I farts. It's me again. And I just wanted to say, screw you. This stupid desert can't make up its mind. One day it's super hot and I'm sweaty, and then next thing I know it's cold, and then it's hot, and then it's cold, and then it's hot, and then it's cold. Make up your mind, you stupid desert. It's too crowded. Stupid itchy throat syndrome. What is with all the stupid tractors on the street? Stupid bridge. Window still works. I really wish that everything I got wasn't such crappy quality. Everything breaks. It never does what I want it to do. It's annoying. Quit texting me. Stupid Swedish bitch said new computer on Friday, gonna try streaming. Don't be a fucktard in PM. I'm gonna teach clues. Are you gonna talk? You can't bitch at me for talking about you in videos. I'm being very vague about your name. I'm not naming specifics, damn it. I'm just saying Swedish idiot. The Swedish ballsack is gonna stream and scream. Nice banana car. Nice banana car, farts. I hate that color. I used to always pick the yellow color back in Battle Tanks when I would play Battle Tanks back in the day. Because it was like, I thought it was gold, but I guess gold is a slightly darker, it's a little bit darker of a yellow kind of color. But it looked gold, damn it. I always call it the gold color. That was my favorite color on Battle Tanks. But it's like, why would I pick that? Why didn't I pick blue? I love blue. That's one of my favorite colors. I should have picked blue, but that gold color was just my childhood. I always liked that as a kid for some reason. I don't know why. How long are these dumb videos? How long is a video supposed to be? Damn it. How long is a video supposed to be? I did your mother. be this cold in the stupid desert. I don't know what's more weird. The fact that it's really cold, or the fact that one day it's really cold and then the next day it's really warm. This is why I always wear shorts and a jacket. Because I already know that it's never cold enough to wear pants, but sometimes it's cold enough to wear a jacket, and then by the middle of the day I'm taking the jacket off, especially if you're doing anything that's even remotely physically intense, like just walking around for more than 5 minutes. Stupid desert. Why can't this desert be normal? Why can't anything be normal? But then again, what is normal? There isn't any general term for what normal is. There really isn't. Everyone has a slightly different term on what their definition of normal is. So it's like, what may be normal to one folk might be abnormal to another folk. I'm at the One Stop Nutrition. Look at this One Stop roid gym junkie punk ass bitches, more like it. So, shut up! This car is a piece of shit. It's like every time I turn it on, it's just making all these dumb noises. Reminds me of me. Okay, so I guess I might as well tell you the story behind One Stop Nutrition. This specific store in particular, because I almost got into a fist fight with some punk steroid rocking gym junkie. I made a video about it on one of my old channels back in the day. I was already talking about it. I don't know if like 1 or 2 people watching this video that I'm friends with they have any idea what I'm talking about. But yeah, basically One Stop Nutrition. That specific store, what happened a long time ago, several years ago, basically I was doing some temporary sign spinner stupid job for that place because I needed some extra cash, and it was supposedly under the table. It was a cash kind of thing. I was only there for like maybe 3 days. I did the sign spinner job for like 3 days. They only owed me like $110, and they wouldn't pay me anything. That stupid punk was being a punk. He kept talking shit behind my back and saying I was doing retarded stuff that I wasn't actually doing. I remember a lot of the details. Like, for example, he was saying that I was sticking my hand in the ice chest thing inside the store, and it's like, I don't even go in the store, you stupid bitch. I'm a sign spinner. Like, I stand outside on the corner of the street like a hooker, and I spin a sign around all day, and I bring my own water and snacks or whatever. I'm only there for like 3 or 4 hours. And the part that was so bad about it was that it was during the middle of summer, of course. Didn't even have any shade. So I was like, it was 114 degrees. And I was just standing there flailing a sign around for like 4 hours, sweating my fucking nuts off. So basically on top of him just like talking shit and starting shit behind my back and whatnot, he basically said I was fired for no reason. I'm trying to remember exactly what it was. I think one of the things that I did was when I was on the corner of the street spinning the sign, and I saw this little baby quail or some sort of baby bird running around in the middle of the street, and it was about to get run over, so I went over and took it, and I put it in a bush or something, and I guess that dumb fuck found out about it, and then that's when he said I was fired. And I'm like, you're firing me for keeping a baby bird in the middle of the street from getting run over by a bunch of traffic. Are you fucking serious? So at this point, I went over to that One Stop Nutrition that I just showed you. I did 2 stores. I did a sign spinner at one of the other ones, and then I was actually doing it at a different location, but I went over to that one because that's where that punk was, because apparently he was the manager or something, so we went back and forth between those 2 locations. And then I went over there and I said, okay, you can pay me now. You said it was under the table cash. And they said, oh, well, they wouldn't pay me. He said he would pay me later, and it never happened. It's like, well, what happened was I went in there and I said, like, you can pay me now. Like, I'm not having this, they're going to pay me later, because I was already like flat out, like, I already don't like you. You're talking shit about me for no reason. And I've told you this many times. I'm very confrontational. That's the reason why I did security. I was in armed security for at least a couple years, but I believe I did security for about 4, maybe almost 5 years. And I was armed security for 2 of those years. I did a lot of sketchy shit. If you're a security guard, you have to be confrontational. You can't be a little pussy. So obviously I'm a very confrontational person. I don't take shit from anyone. So of course, I was just straight up about it. I was like, I was up in his face about it. I was like, I already don't like you because you're already talking shit and saying dumb shit that I clearly didn't do. And it's like, if you have a problem with me, I would appreciate it if you could speak up instead of talking shit behind my back. But either way, you said this is a cash job, so you can just go ahead and pull the money out of the register and pay me that way. I don't give a shit. It's not my problem. But I'm not living without my money. Like I said, like almost word for word, like I'm not leaving without until I get paid. Like, you owe me money. I'm not leaving without my money. And then that's when he started saying, threatening to call the police. I'm like, do it. Like he was holding his broken iPhone 4S or iPhone 4 or whatever, like the screen was all cracked, and he was like putting the phone out like this, showing 911 on the dialer. I'm like, do it. I ain't leaving without my money. So he went into the back room, and then I was talking to some other person at the front cash register. And basically I was saying, like, why are they trying to rip me off like this? This is labor fraud, you know that, right? And then, okay, sorry about that farce. I am easily distracted, trying to focus on driving, but hoping to finish this stupid story time before I get to my destination. Or if I do get to my destination, I'll just talk more about it in another video later. So, where I was leaving off, basically, that punk went into the back room, called 911, because I wouldn't leave, because it's like, I'm not leaving until you pay me, you motherfucker. And I was talking to some other person at the front desk. I don't remember what I was talking to that person about. Like I said, this was all the way back in like 2014 or 2015 or something. And then this other punk, this other like gym rat looking punk was telling me to leave, and I'm like, I'm not leaving without my money. He owes me money. So this dude, from what I can remember, I don't remember word for word, but then this dude's just started talking shit and getting up in my face and like pushing me out the door. He was like something like get the fuck out of here, or you're gonna get the shit beat out of you, this and that. And then literally right as I was stepping out the door, a cop was rolling up in the parking lot, because I guess I'd already been there for like 15 or 20 minutes. It's funny how the police always show up a lot quicker to like a business or something, but if it's like a domestic call to someone's house, they take all damn day a lot of the time. It's like, yeah, they totally got their priorities straight. Let's just put all these stupid businesses that they, like, who gives a shit? Like, they just put all these businesses first over like just regular people at their house. But whatever, it's a whole other story of its own. Cop was rolling up into the parking lot. That was pretty much the only thing stopping me from like actually beating the shit out of that person, because when you get all up in my face and start talking shit and threatening me like that, and you start shoving me and shit, like, I'm literally, like, trying to hold myself back from busting your face open. And the only reason I didn't, like, go back in there and, like, start tearing the whole store apart at that point, and then it's like, fuck this, I'm just gonna take $110 worth of protein powder or whatever. The only thing stopping me from doing that was that the damn cop was already in the parking lot walking over to the damn store. So then what happened was I told the cop, like, I did this and that, they owe me money for the hours I worked. So they went in there, the cop went in there and, like, took my information. It's like, why did I have to fall for that? Because basically, like, the cop got my information and gave it to them, but not to pay me. No, of course not. Because the cop was all like, they're going to send you the check in the mail or whatever. They were never planning on doing that. They got my information to trespass me from the store instead. I was like, are you fucking serious? Like, I should have seen that coming from a mile away. But I was just so pissed off at the time, I wasn't thinking. I was just like, oh, hey, the cop is actually going to help. When the hell has a cop ever helped me? Throughout my whole entire life, every fight I've been in, every mugging, every sketchy criminal activity that I got myself caught up in where I needed the police's help, for whatever reason, they always showed up when it was too late. Or they didn't show up at all. And then every time they do show up, it's just like, okay, let me get your information. Okay, give me a description of the suspect and what happened, who fought you, or who tried to rob you, or this or that. And then nothing happened. It's pointless. That's why I like to call myself a vigilante. I take matters into my own hands. Why do you think I always keep a knife in my pocket at all times? I usually keep my piece either in my glove box or on the side of my door too. But at bare minimum, I keep this bad boy. This is one of like 10 other knives I had. This one is not normally this copper color, but the sun faded it because I left it outside for like months and it just got faded. It's just some cheap knife, but it's super, super, super sharp. Even still to this day, years later, it's still super sharp. And the thing I like about it is that it has this little impact thing right here you can use. You can see this little impact thing that's actually meant to break open a window. You can go like this and boom, 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 and break open a window with it. It also has a little thing right here where you can put it right in between here, and then you can use it to cut like a seatbelt if like you're stuck in a car accident and your seatbelt is like strangling you or you can't get it open or whatever. You can use that to cut like a seatbelt, for example, or some kind of a rope or something. It's a pretty handy little thing. You can also use that blunt part of it that I showed you, like keep it in your fist like this and use that blunt part. Like if you're not trying to actually kill someone, like stab them or whatever. I would only do that if the only time I would stab someone is if it's equal force. Like if someone pulled a knife on me, then I'm pulling a knife on them. And from my experience, that's only happened once. And the only reason why it didn't get nasty, giggity, is because I had this exact knife, and the very second that this random person, he was downtown somewhere, and he was just tripping. I think it all started because he was bugging me for a pack of smokes or something. He was like, yo, you got a cigarette? I'm like, no, man, I don't smoke. And he was like, come on, I know you got a cigarette. Or it was something like, it all started over a damn cigarette. This dude was tripping balls. Like, he was like saying I was lying or something. He was a fucking schizo. So he was like, I don't know, it just, next thing I know, he's just pulling a knife on me. He was like, you're gonna give me a fucking cigarette. I'm like, what the fuck are you gonna do with that? And then I pulled out my knife. I was like, you wanna go there, motherfucker? And then he was like, whoa, and then he just walked away. He's like, yeah, it's not worth getting cut over a fucking cigarette. But what I'm saying is, if I'm not trying to stab someone unless they're trying to stab me, I would hold it like this, like a metal knuckle pretty much. It also keeps your knuckles, if you punch someone, it'll keep your knuckles from like breaking. It'll keep them more sturdy. But you can go like this, hit them with this blunt part, and go bonk right in their face or something. I've never actually had to use this other than like as a tool, but it's more of like self-defense. The thing is, I really don't want to have to be in that kind of situation in the first place, even though I have been in these kind of situations a good amount just during my security officer career. Especially when I got into armed security, they really started throwing me out to the most sketchy areas ever. It was just full of gang members and tweakers, homeless, and just all this crazy stuff. Just the last security job that I did, like not even a year ago, because it was whatever. I didn't even want to bother with that security company because they were brain dead and they were just treating me like shit. So I was like, go fuck yourself. They threw me down at a Circle K down in total Tweakerville. Literally Tweakerville. It was so bad down there that the McDonald's had to have an armed officer, like, walking around the McDonald's. And the Circle K that I was at, it needed 2 security guards. That's how bad the Circle K was. That at the location that I was at, that Circle K was so sketchy, so incredibly ghetto, so much crime going on down there. They needed 2 security guards at the front door at the Circle K. And I was only doing that for like maybe a few days, and then I told the stupid fucking supervisor, I was like, this is not what I signed up for. You said that I was going to be trained. I was being trained for this and going out here, and then you're sending me over to a fucking Circle K that has like the total opposite schedule. I mean, I don't really mind early morning, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., but seriously, just standing there for 12 straight hours at a ghetto Circle K, I don't know how I didn't catch the Rona, because half the people walking in and out of there were coughing and hacking all over the place. But that security post on its own is a whole other video of its own. This video is already 22 minutes. I want to wrap up the story of this stupid punk. So basically, at that One Stop Nutrition, that idiot, I gave that cop my information, like assuming that, oh hey, the cop is actually going to help. That's why he's want my information. So, the cop goes inside the store and it says, okay, they're going to send you a paycheck. I'm like, they said it was under the table cash job. They can pay me right now, but whatever. And then several weeks went by, never got it, of course. I ended up calling the damn place multiple times. Like the first couple times I called it and some dumb bitch answered. I'm like, hello, I did this sign spinner job and I'm just checking up on, they said they were going to send me a paycheck for my hours I worked. And then I think at first the chick or whatever said, oh yeah, hold on, like I'll go check on that. And then someone just hung up the phone for no reason. So I called again. I don't remember when, if it was the same day or the next day. I called again, asked the same question, and then that time the chick just immediately hung up. And then I called again, and then that stupid gym junkie punk ended up answering. And I don't remember what happened at that point, but all I said was like, you're gonna give me the money that I worked for. You're gonna give me my money. And then he was being a bitch about it and like basically like just dodging the whole thing, and he didn't say yes or no. He was just dodging the whole question entirely and saying like, you need to stop calling. And I'm like, and then at that point I was getting pissed off again because I have a short fuse, and I'm like, don't make me come over there. And then he's like, you're just gonna get the shit beat out of you and go to jail. And then I'm like, okay. Well, I never ended up actually going back over there because I only, like, for $110 I didn't really give a shit, but I was pissed off because it's not about the money, it's about the principle. Because that was around the time where I was just fed up with people fucking me over all the time and just bullshitting around like that. So it's like, I don't care if you owe me $100. I don't care if you owe me I don't care if you owe me 10 cents. The whole point is, if you say you're going to do something, and if I'm doing something and you agree to give me compensation for it, when I'm done doing what we agreed on, I am going to hold you to it. I'm going to expect you to pay up. And they didn't pay up. And to really add insult to injury, they just fucked with me. Like, they were just talking shit behind my back and just saying dumb shit and this and that and threatening me and all this. And I'm telling you, like, I really wanted to fight both of them. There's 2 of those stupid little gym junkies in there, and I don't care how big and tough you think you are. because everyone's head is the same. You can't have a super muscly, steel-enforced head. So a good punch to the side of the jaw and scramble your brain like scrambled eggs and cheese. Oh, that's so delicious. You're going down just as hard as anyone else. I don't care if you're 100 pounds or 300 pounds of muscle or 400 pounds of fat. If you get punched in the head and you get disorientated, you're going down. They all go down the same. At least that's been my experience with everyone. Like, yeah, sure, some of these fat people, they pack a punch. Like, I'm not kidding. Because it's like, they got a lot of muscle under that flubber. How do you think they're able to carry their fat ass around all the time? They got some muscle under that flubber. So that's why a lot of fat people, I wouldn't mess with them either. In most cases, I wouldn't mess around with fat people either. They got just as much muscle as a lot of these people that are hitting the gym every day. They're just a lot slower because they're huge. But either way, I don't know. Honestly, I felt really stupid in that kind of situation because basically it was just something I found, I think, like off Craigslist or something. Like I was just spamming a fake texting number because I was like, I basically had like a bunch of fake throwaway numbers that I would use, just like give out to whatever, looking for like, you know, temporary jobs, or if I was on a dating app back then, and if I was talking to random, you know, sketchy chicks on a dating app, I would typically just give them one of those fake numbers, you know, because you should always do that, because there's so many sketchy people out there, especially like if you're on a dating app or you're just like giving your number to people you don't know. There's so many scammers out there that just round up people's numbers and they sell them off to third parties or whatever. And then next thing you know, you have all these telemarketers calling you up and spamming you and all this crap. And then you just ended up having to change your number. Like, I'm not putting up with that anymore. That's why I always have at least like 1 or 2 or even 3 different fake numbers. And since I have 2 phones, I can have all of those same apps on both phones. So then I can essentially have at least like 6 throwaway fake numbers, basically. So that's typically what I do, just so I don't have people scamming me. Like, because you can find out quite a lot of personal information about someone just from their phone number. Like, if you can look up like their previous addresses, their full name, like what kind of phone carrier it is, and all this crap. Like, my friend Mason, back when he was still alive, he found out we're one of my old punk coworker friends that stole one of my ex-girlfriends. Like, I was talking to him about it, and he was like, yo, what's his number? Like, I'll find out where he lives. I was like, you can do that? Because I guess he was at the time paying for this reverse number lookup or whatever, so I gave him his number, and he seriously found out his home address. And what was even more freaky was he actually like went over to his apartment and knocked on the door, and he was like, hey motherfucker, you like stealing people's girlfriends? Like, that was so hilarious. He scared the shit out of him. Like, he didn't actually do anything. He just like knocked on the door and he was like, hey, you like stealing people's girlfriends? Like, that's what he told me. He said he found his address and he went over there and confronted him about it. That's the thing I loved about Mason. He was just as confrontational as I am. Like, we were like brothers from other mothers. It's a shame that he passed away, because he was one of the last friends I had left. It was so hilarious. But yeah, that's basically, you know, I'm getting off track again. That was basically what I did with that stupid little sign spinner job that I had, is that it was just some random temporary thing I found on Craigslist, because like I said, I was looking for more, you know, work on the side, just to bring in some extra bucks, just have some extra change in my pocket, because I kind of needed some extra money at the time. I always need extra money. Right now, I don't really give a shit. Like, I don't need any extra money at all. I'm actually throwing away a lot of money. Like, you know, I just bought my dad the Google Pixel, and then I got him a Pixel watch and a Pixel stand. Like, I just bought, all that stuff was for my dad, because it's like, I already have 2 phones and they're both the latest and greatest phones. It's like, what am I gonna do with a Google Pixel? I like my phone better, damn it. But I got that for my dad. Because it's like, I started having too much extra money just lying around, and it's like, sure, I could just put it in a savings, but what's the point? You know, with all this inflation going on, doesn't, like, it's whatever. I might as well just spend my money before it becomes worthless. As far as I'm concerned, I don't care about money. As long as the bills are paid and I got food on the table, then any extras are just going to be for fun. Like, sure, I still have a savings. I put aside money for taxes and, like, emergency expenses for, like, my car breaks down or something like that. I got all that covered. But I'm just saying, like, whenever I start getting too much money, then I'll either take a vacation, like I'll just stop working for like a week or two and just do nothing, just fuck around, or I'll just start buying random stupid shit. It's getting kind of warm in here, farts. I'm telling you, bipolar weather. It's starting to get warm already. But yeah, I gave that stupid sign spinner job, I gave that punk a fake texting number, obviously. That was basically it. That was the only information that they had on me. So basically, like, they probably couldn't even find out who I was. So that's why I was just kind of annoyed. Like, why did I wait until the cops showed up? Like, at this point, it's like, you're not gonna pay me? Okay, then I'll just go ahead and take like $100 worth of protein powder, because just one of those big tubs of protein powder was like $40 or $50. So I would have taken at least a couple of those. And it's like, try and stop me and I'm gonna bash your fucking head through the wall. Like, you want to throw hands, try something, we're throwing hands for sure. So that's what I should have done. That's why for a while I was kind of just getting annoyed when I thought about it, because I could have taught them a lesson in a way where I could either beat the shit out of them, or I am going to get paid one way or another and beat the shit out of them, basically. So it's like, what are they going to do when they have literally no information about me other than a fake throwaway number that they're not going to be able to do anything with? So what I really wish I could have done was, I could have just, after they basically were not going to pay me for the hours I worked, what I should have done was, like, as soon as he went back into the back and, like, said he was going to call the cops or whatever, I should have just taken a couple of those overpriced containers of protein powder and just walked out. That's what I should have done, and I would have felt so much better, damn it. But I didn't do that. What ended up happening was just a bunch of verbal confrontation, like just a bunch of shit talking, and one of them ended up getting up in my face and like trying to shove me out the door and all this shit, and like threatening me and all that. And it's like, they're gonna get away with that. Like, they got away with it scot-free, and I'm the kind of person, like, screw karma. I'm not the kind of person that likes to wait around for karma to bite them in the ass. I like to be the karma. When someone just fucks someone over like that, and they just show nothing but disrespect, like, I actually enjoy teaching people respect. Like, give me an excuse. I will put you in your place real quick. I don't care who you are. That's just the kind of person I am. I love teaching people. I love putting people in their place. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't like doing that to rant just for no reason. There's always gonna be a reason, usually a damn good reason. Like, if you're gonna screw someone over like that, whether it's me or a friend or a family member, or if you're gonna like be threatening someone or trying to like hurt someone or rob someone, if you're gonna be basically doing that kind of crap, then yeah, like, I'm probably gonna want to fight you, or I'm gonna at the very least be all up in your shit about it, like big time. And that's just why I wasn't able to do that. Yeah, that's what pisses me off about so many people in general nowadays, is that they're all like that because they can get away with it. Because unfortunately, there's nothing illegal about being a crappy person. Damn it. Like, basically, you can be a liar, you can never hold your word, you can just be a total scumbag and use people and manipulate people. And there's nothing illegal about it. It's a good way to basically have no friends. If you just want to be a very miserable, unlikable person, then sure. But the thing is, there's nothing illegal about being a scumbag like that. That's why everyone is like that, because they know they can get away with it. Because it's like, they can screw you over like that, and then, they can get away with it. And then it's like, you want to beat the shit out of them, but you can't, because then that would be illegal. That's why I feel like the whole system is just really ass backwards. It's just unfair. Everything is unfair, and yeah, I get it. Life is unfair. That's just the way things are. Everything's unfair. So it's like, how do you win? I miss the good old days. Everything is too soft. Everyone is too soft and fake nowadays. Honestly, I miss the days back when, shit talking could get the shit beat out of you, basically. And it was perfectly legal. That's kind of how it is in other parts of the world, where you don't really have a whole lot of free speech. Like, if you basically trash talk someone, especially like an authority figure, then they can throw you in jail, or they can beat the shit out of you. They can send you to re-education camps or something. Now, I kind of wish it could be like that in America, but maybe a little bit toned down a bit. Basically, I wish that you could unleash wrath onto someone that wronged you. Basically the situation that I just talked about. They screwed me over, and at that point, it's their word against mine anyway, so why does it matter? If they screwed me over, why can't I just beat the shit out of them so I can at least feel better about it? And I don't care if I win or lose the fight. That's not gonna stop me from fighting anyway, because at the end of the day, I'll heal from a bunch of bruises and scrapes and cuts or whatever, and then I can continue to look back at it and be like, yeah, I taught those people a lesson. Even if I got pretty messed up myself, I can still look back and be like, yeah, I feel so good. I'm so glad I did that. Because that's just the kind of person I am. I don't hold grudges or anything, but I just if I have a problem with someone, I deal with it right then and there. And if I don't deal with it almost right away, pretty much, then I just don't care anymore. But the whole problem is, people get away with way too much shit, and I'm so tired of it. I'm so tired of everyone just being such a crappy person all the time and just doing all this scumbag stuff all the time, and they always get away with it. I wish that there could be a way around that, where you could teach them a lesson, put them in their place without having to deal with legal drama. And really, the only way to do that is to make sure they don't have any information about you, so they don't even know you or who you are or where you live, so you can just fight them and then leave. But it's even that is kind of complicated, because I'm not a teenager anymore. It's not like back in the day when I didn't give a shit. I would fight just about anyone for any reason. I wouldn't even need a reason. I'd just be like, "Hey, screw you, you stupid bitch." And then as soon as they would get all up in my face about it, I would just start swinging at them. That's how I used to be back in the day, because I knew, I was a lot smarter than most people my age back then. I knew right from wrong. I knew that I was a minor, and I knew that I just didn't care. Because I had so many run-ins with the cops, because I was always vandalizing and stealing shit, getting into fights, and I was a menace. And most of the times when the cops busted me, all they did was call mommy and daddy and just gave me a little slap on the wrist. That's all they did. They just called mommy and daddy and had them pick me up. And then, they would bitch at me for a few minutes and then just act like nothing happened after that. And then a couple days later, I'd go out and do the same shit all over again. But anyway, this video's long enough. I'll be sure to talk more about this in another video. I'm busy. Stay tuned for more videos. See you, farts.